We have a really interesting SEC conference game coming this weekend. It is Ole Miss versus Kentucky. Ole Miss is headed to Kentucky. Last year, Kentucky went down to Ole Miss and beat them 20-17. Now, mind you, taking into account that Kentucky last year was 4-8. These two coaches are diametrically opposed in how you look at their records. Mark Stoops, who, you know, man's been a defensive guy, so he knows how to do defense. Defensive backs, defensive coordinator. He was a coach at Florida State, Arizona, Miami, Houston, Wyoming. Now, the one place that I'm kind of in shock that he wasn't, he played at Iowa, by the way, and was a graduate assistant there, defensive back there, is that he wasn't at Oklahoma. But he is 68-73. He's been the head coach at Kentucky since 2013. He is, oh, pardon me, 78, or no, overall, he is, what in the world? Okay, I am sorry. There is, he's 68-73 at Kentucky. It says his total is 78-73. I think somebody made a bad error there. Now, he did have a season. He went 10-3. Oh, pardon me. He had two seasons. He went 10-3. But past that, yeah, not so much. Lane Kiffin, one season at UT, was 7-6 and left there in the worst way possible. Well, okay, no, Jeremy Pruitt had the worst way possible. Butch Jones was up there, but he left in the one of the worst ways possible. Everybody was suing him, including the Tennessee Titans. Went to USC, he was 28-15. He just wasn't doing it for them. Even though he went 10-2 one season. Then he went to Florida Atlantic, turned them into a winning team, which is not as easy as it sounds sometimes. 26-13, won 11-3. He won two conference titles while there. He's at Ole Miss now. He's gone 45-18 while being there. Went 11-2 one season. Literally could have gotten into the playoffs. Went 10-3 in 2021. He was 10-2 in the regular season, so that could have gotten him in the college football playoff. Think about that. Twice he could have been there, and he's only been there since 2020. No, he runs his mouth, but he puts up the things. So, hey, before I get into breakdown of these two teams, hit like and subscribe for me, especially if you love you some college football.
Hey folks, this is Paul with Redneck Sports. I want to thank you for viewing my video, and I want to give you one thought process. There was a famous coach at the University of Tennessee by the name of General Robert Neyland. He had 6 maxims, but number 2 maxim is what everybody should apply to their life. Play for and make the breaks. When one comes your way, score. That's how to live your life right there.
Now, as Kentucky is the home team, I'm going to go with Ole Miss, who is currently ranked 20th in the nation. They whooped up on Georgia State 63-7. Okay, well, I mean, it's at least an FBS, a Division 1A school. Uh, Austin Simmons had 341 passing yards. Kawan Lacey had 108 rushing yards. Harrison Wallace, the third wide receiver, had 130 receiving yards. Xavier Harris, a defensive tackle, had an interception, and a linebacker, TJ Daughtery, had 9 tackles. Austin Simmons was 20 of 31, 64.5% completion ratio, had 3 TDs, 2 interceptions against Georgia State, and 2 sacks, or was sacked twice by Georgia State. You have to keep that in mind. Georgia State's not that bad of a team, actually. Kwan Lacey, 16 carries, 108 yards, 3 TDs. Logan Diggs, 7 for 91 yards. Think about that. 9 less carries, had just 19 fewer yards, and had a TD. So they've got a good rushing attack. They have several other players that had various carries. Receiving, Harrison Wallace the third, 5 receptions, 130 yards, 1 TD. Daquan Wright, 4 catches, 78 yards, 1 TD. Caleb Odom, sorry, 4 for 57 for 1 TD. And Isaiah Hartrip had 2 receptions, 17 yards, 1 TD. And a few other guys were catching. TJ Daughtery, like I said, had 9. Now, they only had 1 sack in that game, 1 interception, no forced fumbles, no fumble returns. But, you know, mm, their defense seems to be their weakest area, even though they held Georgia State to 7 points. This does not look like but this is Ole Miss. Lane Kiffin knows how to get it done, but he couldn't do it and get it done against a 4-8 Kentucky last year at home. Think about that for a second. Hade Tade was hitting a little bit different last year. So now they're going into Kentucky, which, in all honesty, can be a hostile environment. Let me tell you, been there. So yeah, that's what we got with Ole Miss. Now, Kentucky played a slightly better team in Toledo, a MAC school. Uh, Zach Calzada, 85 passing yards. And yeah, um, Dante Dowdell. Zach Calzada is a 7-year college football quarterback. This is the third SEC team that he's played for. Dante Dowdell, 129 rushing yards. Josh Caddis, 43 yards. He's tight end, got 43 receiving yards. Alex Aferi Jr. had 13 tackles, and Jonquist Hardaway had 1 interception. Zach Calzada was 10 of 23, 43.5% completion. Didn't throw a touchdown, but had an interception. Dante Dowdell, 14 for 129, 1 TD. Seth McGowan, 18 for 78 yards, 1 touchdown. Zach Calzada rushed 10 times, 14 yards, 1 touchdown. So their passing does not seem like it's the best in the world. No throwing. And this is a 7th-year quarterback that you bring in off the transfer portal. I'm not even going to go into the numbers of their receivers. It's pathetic. It's really pathetic. Now their defense. Alex Safari, linebacker, 13 total tackles, 1 sack. Steven Souls Jr. had 2 sacks. I mean, they were getting to the quarterback. They had 3 sacks total, 1 interception. Now, this is not looking like a team that should be able to handle Ole Miss. And in all honesty, I mean, maybe they just had an off game. Zach Calzada played the entire game because, well, they were 24-16. That was the final score on that game, 24-16. Now, mind you, Both of them, Toledo had a safety in the second quarter. Kentucky was 10 points going into the half. Toledo was 2 points. Both had two touchdowns in the fourth quarter. I, mm, I don't even know where to begin. This is going to be an interesting game looking at these numbers here. But that's what Kentucky is looking like. Now, I am definitely going out on a limb when I am going to say, unless Zach Calzada just wakes up, you can't have only a rushing offense in the SEC unless your name's Josh Heupel. I'll say that. SEC schools know how to deal with most running backs. Kentucky, maybe they'll. I mean, they had 220 yards rushing against Toledo, which, like I said, it's a decent team. It's a MAC school. They're decent. Uh, but seriously, I don't know what you know. Looking at this, I mean, they went 8-5 last year. I Could there be a path for Kentucky to win this game? Sure. Do I see it? No. But it's possible they could, all of a sudden the defense could just do really great things, and I don't know. I really don't. I know some Wildcat fans that are expecting to see in their stadium what was done in Ole Miss's stadium last year. But maybe they were holding back. That's all I've got to say. Maybe they were lulling Ole Miss into complacency. I really don't know. I'm not saying Mark Stoops is in the hot seat because I don't think that he is. I don't think he would be if he has another losing season. Some people are saying he would, but this is a put up or show up kind of game. And if he put up and show up, sorry, I'm looking at this Kentucky schedule. They play Ole Miss, South Carolina, Georgia, Texas, Tennessee, Auburn, who looks like they're doing much better, Florida, it's Vandy, and Louisville. They've got two MAC schools in Toledo and Eastern Michigan, and they've got Tennessee Tech. Honestly, looking at that first game, I don't see how they could be anything but a losing team this year. I really don't. I mean, Ole Miss looks like Ole Miss. They've got LSU, Georgia, Sooners, South Carolina, South Kakalaka, Florida, and Mississippi State for the Egg Bowl. They play Washington State, which is not a horrible school. Play Tulane, which, hey, Tulane beat a Big Ten school. Okay, it's Northwestern. But they still beat a Big Ten school. And they've got Arkansas. I don't see how Kentucky's going to be anything but a warm up game. You tell me, though, your opinion. This has been Paul with Redneck Sports. Y'all have a good day now. Bye.
I want to thank you for watching my video. And if you like what you saw, like, subscribe, and comment. Y'all have a good day now.